Obviously, exciting time of year today. The calendar flips to March 1st. Our guys have had a great week. I think the biggest thing that we've been able to do this week is get freshened up mentally, physically. We had a couple days there where we didn't do anything at all physically. Had one mental day, had one of those days we were completely off. I thought it was really good. We came in yesterday with a lot of energy, practiced well. Short, I think it's important to keep them fresh. This time of year we'll be short again today. Special weekend for our 5 seniors. Those guys obviously have meant a lot to the university and to the basketball program. And the thing I'm most proud of with those guys is how resilient they've been. They've had a little bit of, as we all know as adults, a taste of what life's about throughout their career. They've had to deal with some ups and downs and have dealt with them in a first-class manner, certainly during the time that I've been here. Great to be around. Really fortunate that I've had a chance to coach them. Really appreciate their attitude and their disposition. I've said that all along, and so we still got a ways to go here, and hopefully can keep playing. I know the guys are focused on doing that and have a real desire to do that. So again, we're get a chance to honor them tomorrow, so it'll be a special day tomorrow.
What have these guys meant to you in your first year?
Well, they meant a lot. I mean, they're just the way they handle themselves. They allow you to coach your basketball team because they do what they're supposed to do on and off the court. So you worry about making them better and practice planning and game planning and reaching them as people, students, and players, and spending time with them and helping them grow. And you're not playing romper room, which is huge. They have a good maturity about them in that way. I've really appreciated that. That really starts with those guys. Our younger guys are that way as well. But the character quotient of the entire group collectively is really high, Jeremy. I think that's what's made it fun to coach them.
What is senior day like for you, John? Typically, is it a little emotional?
Yeah, I mean, without question. Those guys they're our guys. It's their last chance, obviously, to play in Assembly Hall tomorrow, and I know they're looking forward to it, and it is an emotional day. I mean, sure, for them as well. You start to obviously think back and recollect about those guys. I'm sure thinking about their careers and how fast it's gone, Mark, and it's flown by for those guys. They've said that a lot over the last couple days. So, we're going to try to soak up every day. We've talked about embracing and enjoying the journey from day one. And I think our guys have stayed really level-headed. I think it's a big reason why they've played well in the month of February. They haven't gotten too high or too low. And I think it's a good lesson for them that hopefully they take with them into their adult lives, as they become professionals at whatever it is that they desire to do after college.
Will you start the seniors? Will you change the starting lineup for them? Or?
We're going to keep doing what we've been doing, Jim. Obviously those guys are going to play. Right now our focus is on playing the best basketball we can play and continuing to get a little bit better every day. Tomorrow's a big game for us, and I'm certain we'll be ready to go.
Do you honor them before or after the game?
Before. Yeah, before.
For these seniors, obviously, winning this game would get you to where you want to go and keep growing, getting to where you want to go. What would it mean for them to get to the tournament?
Well, I'm not going to, I've asked them not to think about that or talk about that, Jeremy, so I'm in there with them, in the foxhole with them. So right now our focus is on having a good practice today and playing well tomorrow. We have to play better than we played on Sunday. Those guys know that. I challenge the staff. We have to coach better. We have to play better. We have to be better than we were. I don't think that was a true reflection of how well we played in February. Certainly no disrespect or taking anything away from Michigan. I thought they were spectacular in the second half, in particular Burke, making plays for himself and for others. But we got to play better, and that's kind of been our focus, and we're just going to stay with that for right now.
Everybody in the country's talking about this, the upsets every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Crazy season.
I mean, you're the coach of the guys that could get upset this week.
Yeah.
You're the favorite. I mean, how do you approach it?
Well, again, for us right now, we prepare the same way. I think those seniors would tell you that, or other guys would tell you that. We've done the same thing all season long, trying to develop a culture of, hey, this is how we do things, regardless of circumstance. And so we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, Lauren. But obviously, I think a lot of that's mental. And then, the guys are Division I basketball players at these places we're playing. We're in the best league in the country, and it's on a given night, every game is different. It's the one thing I learned. It took me because I can be thick-headed. It took me a while to figure that out when I was a younger coach. Like, when the ball tips, it's interesting because I've learned that every game is unique and different and dynamic within itself. It's hard to get a read on. I used to think like, okay, if our warm-ups were great, then we're ready to go. Or if shoot around, you just never know. That 40 minutes that you play on any given night, it's unique. It's different. You have to be ready to go all the time because anything can happen in college basketball. It's just the way that it is, and certainly anything can happen in our league.
John, the day you were hired, DJ Griffey came to the press conference and already seemed excited. I mean, did the senior class buy in right away, or has it been a process with them, or did you feel good about them from day one as far as buying in?
Well, I think they bought in, in terms of buying in is kind of a, on what scale, I'd say they wanted to buy in, Jim, right away, and that's the key. And then from there, like any relationship, you have to develop trust, and it has to be earned. And it's not something that, you just show up and have a press conference and then in 24 hours they bought into you, your staff, and your system, and it just snap your fingers, magic wand. It doesn't work that way. And I think the one thing about them is they've been very, with open arms, like, hey, we're open-minded, I guess is maybe the best word. Okay, they were open-minded, and with that, I think, allowed us in. And once you allow our staff in, I think our assistant coaches do such a great job, of developing our guys as players and students and people. And I think our guys legitimately know that we care about them. We try to treat them with respect all the time, and I think the culture and the way that it's been set up and the way that we've stayed the course, haven't deviated, win, lose, play well, not play so well. We've just kind of stayed even keel. I think they've appreciated that, that we've kind of stayed the same and been who we are. So I think that trust has been something that's earned, and obviously now 10, 11 months into it, I do feel like we have really good relationships with those guys, and I think that's where it starts.
As far as on the court, how the guys responded from Sunday to where they are today, as far as preparation and getting back into a groove?
Well, they've been good, Marcus. I chose. I mean, I wasn't going to rant. We talked when we got back and just said, hey, you can't fool the players. I've always said this, you can't fool the players. I mean, they're smart guys. We didn't play real well. They know that. We had plays in the game that we can't make, that we hadn't been making a lot here lately. I'm not a big excuse guy, but I do think let's put it this way, I do think the week bye was at a good time for us. Was at a good time for us and for our team moving forward. So we're thankful for that.
How about Kevin Berardini?
Yeah. Special kid. Fights every day. You know what you're getting from him every day. Means something to him. I say this about DJ a lot, but the same is true of Kevin. He's an Illinois kid, and he plays at Illinois. That means something to him. Means a lot to him. Obviously he doesn't play a whole lot, so sometimes it's hard in the role that he's in. But his attitude is tremendous. Kevin's one of those guys that's going to be successful in whatever he does in life because he cares at such a high level. His work ethic is unbelievable. He's a great teammate, and he cares about Illinois and his teammates and our team and sacrifices a lot, cares about those things more than himself, Jeremy. So because of that, I think he's got a chance to be really, really successful in life.
Coach, with DJ's last game here, there's been a Peoria kid here for a long, long time. How do you work Peoria when maybe there might not be a prospect ready to go right now? How do you work that city?
Well, we keep doing what we've been doing. Obviously we'll go there for, caravans in May and do different speaking things there and Peoria's an important place. It's got a great background here at the University of Illinois and has obviously meant a lot to the basketball program. That's not going to change just because we don't have a guy on our roster from Peoria. So it's important. It's inside our state borders, so it makes it real important.
Keep working the coaches and just keep watching.
Yeah, not just there though, but the whole the whole state. I mean, I think we've got a great state. People love basketball. They love Illinois basketball, and we're going to continue to emphasize that and work to develop even more relationships than we have. We've got some good ones, and continue to do what we do there.
Nebraska's kind of struggled there a little bit. What do you expect to see from those guys tomorrow?
Well, the biggest thing, I watched their game over again here this morning when they played Iowa. They were resilient. I mean, they were tough. I mean, they were down 16, came back, and they've got guys that can make plays. I think that's what scares you the most, Marcus. You got a guy in Talley who could get 30. He could get 20 plus, 25. Gallegos could make 4, 5, 6 threes in a game. He's done it before. Siobhan Shields is now a double-figure scorer in league play. Is making a case probably for being on the all-freshman team in the league with his production and his numbers. He's continued to get better. Ubel's completely healthy. Anytime you've got guards like they have and you're playing one game, I mean, any of those guys, especially Talley or Gallegos, those guys could go for 20 plus on a given night in a heartbeat. If you allow them to. So we got our hands full defending those two guys. Thought we did a good job in game 1 of defending them, but that's game 1. That has nothing to do with game 2 tomorrow at 4:15.
You played them about a month and a half ago. Do you think this is a different team than you played?
I think both of us are different. I think they've continued to get better. I know they didn't have a great game the other day against Wisconsin in Madison. I can relate. But they're getting better. They're getting better. They're still playing hard and competing. I said the same thing about Coach Chambers' team at Penn State when they came in here. I was amazed at just their passion, their effort, their energy. He's done a tremendous job. Tim has the same thing going at Nebraska. You can tell those kids are still playing. They're physical. They compete. They've got a great attitude and disposition, and because of that, I think they've gotten better. Very similar to how I think Penn State's gotten better.
John, can you talk more about the Peoria streak? I mean, for a city that size to have 20 years.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Obviously, and John was alluding to it earlier, our plans is hopefully this is, the streak ends technically, but hopefully this isn't our last one from Peoria. We've had great success in that area. I know people care a lot about Illinois in Peoria, the special city, and, it's, something that, as I told John there, we're going to continue to connect with Peoria. It's an important city for us. But it is pretty cool. It's pretty unique. I don't know how many programs can say that about one city, producing a guy or having a guy on the roster for that length of time. It's pretty neat.